Alright, here's my video for May 8th, and I'm just going to do a quick recap here. I'll go over a trade that I did, an IBF trade, and okay, let me see, where do I want to start here? Okay, yeah, I was using Investor RT, but I just got frustrated with it, and it's too expensive at the moment. I have to pay for a portion of Bookmap, and I have other bills and things, and so what I'm switching to is, I'm going to be using this Rhythmic platform since I'm already paying for Rhythmic, and they provide this. It's a decent platform. Unfortunately, it doesn't do volume profile, so I also have Tradeovate. And that they have a pretty decent volume profile setup. I can get the main things I need, volume, uh, the value area. I can get the VPOCs. I can label them like that, and VPOC. These ones haven't been touched yet. So these are targets we've got. We've got what is that, 88.75, and we've got 34.50. So those would be our next NVPOC targets. Today we opened high in range. And there's just a lot of back and forth. We also had today in the UK, there's a bank holiday. So I don't think they were trading in the London market today. And if I remember right, I think London is basically that's kind of like the financial hub of Europe, where all the trading goes through. So then on the U.S. market, see, there's you've got a few little economic events. They aren't very significant. There's not very many of them. So although I'll go on Bookmap to see 8:30. I'm Pacific time. So see, and I had some technical problems here with my Bookmap today. So I got cut off partway through because I had to restart it. So I only have going back to 8:54. But you can see pretty clearly here what's going on with the volume profile. And look, there's another VPOC there, and that was already broken, but you can see how there's a lot of volume at 43 here. I mean, obviously there's a VPOC, but then look at how there's support right there. So you got support here overnight, and then right after open 7:30. This is a 30-minute chart. Look, it's a pretty tight range. You had this big drop here. That was around 11, and then it came right back up, and then you just got a pretty tight range. Can't really do much. And there were good moves through the day, but it was, it's all up to your trade plan. I found a good IB failure. There were actually two of them that were pretty good from the bottom and the top. So from the IB low and the IB high, there were two good IB failure trader lab trades. So we go into here. This is what I did. So this was around 11, and we look here. Here's a news event, loan officer survey, and it said low volatility expected, but that was a pretty big move. I mean, that thing just dropped. Forgot what the IB high was, but so what happened was I saw this big drop. Like it was just boom. Look at that. There's a stop divergence 744. That's like bigger than anything I saw. And then you have this filled absorption, sweeps and absorption. Look, 744, 51, 48. 76. So you're running out of stops here. This thing just went boom, and it just took out a whole bunch of stops along the way. So you've got this stop divergence right here. I made a little error right there. Trade of 8 was doing something funky today, with the simulator. And I like to go through Trade of 8 because they, they'll give me these performance statistics right here. And you can save these to Excel or whatever you want, and it breaks everything down really nice. So this was an error right here. But see, we have a higher high after this massive stop run and the stop divergence. It comes back, it retests. There's a higher high. I have this little error here that was just because Trade of 8 was doing something funky, and I noticed it was doing something weird. So I just it's like accidental button click, So I entered right here, entered at this overnight low after this higher high. I mean, we see the kind of a spring effect when you have this massive drop. That's just like boom. This thing is just ridiculous. It's taken out a whole bunch of stops throughout the whole day, and then boing. There's higher high. So I entered in at this overnight low. So I had a pretty high level of confidence after this higher high that we would see price go into this area. That's not a huge profit, but I mean that meets the criteria. It's at least 1-to-1 R factor. So I entered it right here, and I immediately scaled. This was well, I kind of expected this could be something that would happen after it. I mean, this thing just dropped like a rock, just fast. And then it's coming back. That's kind of half back right there. So that's a scale. And then, this is my original target up in here, mid VWAP VPOC. Very common area for the IBF. Anywhere in this area is acceptable to take profit. It's like Tom says, horseshoes and hand grenades. This is your radius here of it's acceptable to take profit anywhere in here. I bailed a little bit early, because I was seeing, there's stop divergence 183.25. See, it looked like the buyers were running out of gas a little bit. They tested halfway up, and at this point in the day, the context overall seemed like it was down. So, so I took the profit right there. That's not a bad trade. It's just the profit was there for the taking. And look how much more that I would have made, maybe another point. With how wild this thing was, I was like, okay, I scaled. I can't tell if this thing's going to make it up into this area. I probably should have held on to it and just at least let it get to here. If it hits mid, that's within my target area. So I mean, this whole thing is unacceptable. It hits this mid, it's in this acceptable area where I can take a profit. So fell a little bit short of that, by a point. Would have been nice to get the extra point. But at the time that seemed a reasonable point to just get out. Because the context was still down, so this was kind of a counter trend trade. But we see that a lot. You have this massive drop. This is getting filled. You're running out of stops here. So, that was just a quick IB failure trade like we discussed in the Traders Lab. And there's actually a second one during the day when, let me see, I remember right, I think it was up here. Yeah, if I remember right, I think the IB high was somewhere around here. It might have been right around here or here. Unfortunately, the replay doesn't mark that down. So I'm pretty sure it was here, and then this comes back to your, this general area where you would take your profit at. And we see a lot of sweeps going on, sweeps, sweeps, sweeps. Sweeps all over. You can see with the sweep indicator. And, look at that, see? I look at that, that's turning into support there. Sellers are trying to sweep a bunch of orders there. And look at that, they're taking a bunch of orders off. So I'm pretty sure that got, this stuff got filled and you got a bunch of buy absorption going on. And, then it was just kind of dead after that. What are you going to do here? What you have 1220, the last hour was just that was kind of your one move here. Is this IBF from the top side? I don't know, maybe that one. And you've only got, the harmonic rotation is only about 5 points, so your average rotation right now is only about 5 points in the ES. And as far as RTY, I kind of have it in the background because I'm looking at market pulls, which, I might want to start trading this market as an alternative so you're getting more movement. I got to do all the math on, what's my R factor, what am I looking for. Oh, this looks like some kind of algo here going off. I don't know too much about that. See, they're adding. But it was kind of an uneventful day. It's too bad I don't have the earlier part of the replay. There were some very good shorts, and Tom B was discussing that in the traders lab, and there were definitely some good shorts earlier in the session. So okay, let's have a quick look. What could we possibly expect tomorrow? Well, see, we're just kind of in balance. We're just kind of in balance here. But I mean, you had this dip. This is a big dip. Oh, this is a minute chart. Let me get this to daily. Okay, well, you see, look here. This was back in October, and you've got this, and it's. I mean, if I said anything, it looks like it would be going back up. But you see, we're in this volume node here, and it's just kind of stuck in balance. So it's kind of a rough situation with that. And like I was saying, we have these targets, 3450 down below, and then we've got 8875 up on the top side. So those are our two NVPOCs that we're looking at. Neither of these have been touched yet. So those are potential targets for tomorrow. So that's going to be what I'm looking at is, 3450 and 8875. Let's take a look at what financial events we've got going on tomorrow. Got anything important? Okay, look, short-term energy outlook. That's saying high volatility expected. That's around 9 a.m. And we got a talking Fed. So that's 9:05. So around 9, I don't really want to be operating. That could be volatile. So that's generally I want to wait for a few minutes before and after. Just it depends on what I see on the heat map and the order book. I mean, you could operate in it if it depends how big of a deal this thing is. What is this anyway? It's a okay, crude oil, petroleum, natural gas. Near-term perspective on energy markets. So those are the two big events for the day around 9 a.m. Pacific. And I guess that's another talking Fed around 5:30. This is pre-market. Yeah, so around 9 a.m. That's 10. We've got 3-year note auction. And then aftermarket, there's a crude oil. So 9 a.m. That's where you want to be a little bit careful, So I'll be looking out for that. And well, I guess that's about it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night, and it's starting to get late. you know, it's around 10, so it's time for me to get ready to go to sleep. So I'm going to call it a night, and you know, I'm going to try to keep resuming these videos. You know, it's part of the Bookmap Academy material I want to submit. And this helps me trade better too, because I'm talking myself through the process. And well, that's it. You know, this video's gone on 20 minutes. That's like the cap, where that's as long as I want to do a video. So I'm going to end it here. So good night, everybody.